So, in recognition of Teacher Appreciation Week, we're taking the opportunity to catch up with some of our amazing instructors throughout the county and kind of get a feel for how they're doing, how they're engaging students, what some of the things that they've learned through this and past experiences. Today's group, we're calling them the specialists. These are the folks that they're not teaching the math and English classes that you would be used to. How does a band teacher keep a student engaged? What about physical education? How about business classes? All good things that we need to know and want to see how they're keeping their kids involved. So my group today, they're going to explain all of that. From Surf City Middle, Andrew Maxwell; from North Topsail, John Calarco; from Topsail High School, Alicia Scheiber; from Cape Fear Middle, Tiffany Graham; and from Burgaw Elementary, Amy Borders. Thank you all so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Hi, Mr. Riley. How are you? Thank you so much for having me today.
Hey, thanks, Alex. Thanks for having us here today.
Hey, Alex. Thanks so much for having us today.
Hey, thanks a lot for having me. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today.
So, Miss Borders, obviously, you're the media specialist over at Burgaw Elementary. Take me through some of the stuff that you've been doing to keep the kids engaged. I've been in your media center and seen how you work with them in person. I know how important that is to you. What's it like now that you're not able to actually be in the building, and what are you doing?
It's been a really big shock, obviously, for me and for everybody who's going through this. I talk to the kids all the time about how books are adventures and they can take you literally anywhere in the world, and that you can learn anything you want to learn from a book. So not being able to put those books in their hands has really impacted me, and realized that they just need to have that break and be able to take those adventures, even though they aren't at school and can't roam through my bookshelves at school. So ever since this started, I have picked out some of the most popular and just fun adventure books that I've read before, and have been reading them aloud to the students so that they can still have those adventures and be able to just kind of escape from all the newness and craziness going on, and still be able to take those adventures wherever they are, from home, a relative's house, it doesn't matter.
What's been the reaction by the kids when they hop on? I'm assuming it's a Google Classroom and you're sitting there able to read to them.
So I'm doing 24 different Google Classrooms, so I can kind of curtail different books and read alouds to different age groups. But I have so many kids that are logging in daily, and they're letting me know they can't wait for the next chapters, or I've even gotten text messages from families that I know saying, we're listening as a family. We really enjoy it. We look forward to it every day. So the ones that are logging in, they seem to really like it. And a lot of it is books that they might not have picked up on their own. So they get to be exposed to something completely new. And I hope that next year, when things are back to normal, that it inspires them to make some different book choices too. So hopefully it has some lasting effect.
So, Coach Calarco, obviously you're the gym teacher, the PE teacher over at North Topsail, and you can't have the kids in front of you right now to be able to show them things and get them to take part in sports, different activities. How do you remedy that when they're at home? What are you doing to keep them active and keep them involved?
Yeah, the challenge has been trying to think about what can students use that they have at home, because at school, I have an entire equipment closet that I'm blessed to have and to be able to use, and I can pull from and be creative and do all sorts of things. But I have to try and think about, maybe a kid doesn't even have a basketball at home. Maybe they need to use like a playground ball or something, whatever they can use. So I've tried to think, what is something that a student may have at home that they can use, and then how could they modify it? So we've been doing a lot of activities where I've been posting videos where they're using soccer balls and they're working on tossing, and they're using like a laundry basket, or they're using clothes, or they're using a Rubbermaid bucket, or anything that they can use to create some type of activity where they're working on their skills. So the challenge has been thinking about what do families have at home that they can use, and then how can they implement it so that they're working on skills and they're getting fitness and exercise incorporated into their daily routine.
So obviously it's very easy now with the way the world is to sit on the couch, watch TV, play on your phone, get stuck on the computer. What's been the response by the kids and the families to, hey, don't forget, go be active, do something. And can you tell they're excited about getting out and actually doing an activity?
They really are. It's been really great. I've asked them to send me videos and pictures as well. So they've been posting back the activities that they've been doing. And it's been really cool to see how creative they have become with the idea that I've possibly given them. And then they take it and they make it their own, which has been really, really neat to see. So yeah, it's been really positive to see how engaged they are. And then when they send those videos, we're able to actually put them on our news broadcast in the morning. And so it gives everybody an idea and another way to connect, to see what everybody's doing, even though we're, apart from one another.
Ms. Graham, obviously teaching business, that's pretty complicated. It seems like that there's a lot involved in that. What's the secret to keeping kids engaged, considering the fact you can't have them in a classroom and there's probably so much to explain with that? What are some of the things that you're doing?
I try to communicate with my students in multiple formats. So, not just responding to them and communicating through email, but also posting videos of myself explaining a lesson, audio files, anything that they can actually like see my face and engage with me just like they would in the classroom.
It's obviously got to be a little different. Normally, it's that classroom experience, that hands-on approach. What's the reaction from the kids been like to this new way of doing things?
I think everybody is trying to adjust the best they can. One of the things I've been really trying to do is just get the students from in front of their computer when they're doing my lessons. So, for one of the classes I had, my entrepreneurship class, one of the lessons I had recently, I had them choose two objects from their home, put them together, and create a whole new product. And they had to create a pitch and actually pitch this to their adult figure in their home and then record their results. So I got a lot of positive feedback about that. This is something that I would do in my regular classroom. They would do it with each other, but doing it at home and hearing their parents' feedback, it was excellent. My main goal is just to get them up and moving, not just being in front of the computer screen the whole time.
Ms. Schreiber, obviously, theater of maybe all the classes in the world, that's one that it's a performance-based class. It's a being on stage at the end result and reciting lines and setting up sets and things like that. You can't do that right now. How do you adapt as a teacher that's been involved with that to make sure that the students are still getting something at home when they can't do traditionally what you would do?
So I'm really trying hard to focus, since the fact that theater relies highly on the magic of teaching face to face and it's so interpersonal, that I'm really trying to focus on the social and emotional aspect for these kids. Doing the Google Meets live weekly is giving them the opportunity to be able to see their friends, still have questions and answers about the projects that we're doing, and giving them that positive outlet to still be able to be creative. We're trying hard to differentiate while learning with, especially my advanced production kids, various learning levels, various learning styles. So I've been giving my kids choice boards, which helps them to pick the projects that they're going to like. It helps them to engage in something that they're interested in learning on their own in a positive way, while still remaining creative and sticking with the theater content and curriculum.
What's the response been from the kids? We know they want to have a script in hand, learn some lines, get on the stage and perform. I was a drama kid myself, so I understand how that works. With the fact they can't do it, how have they responded to what you have been able to present?
Well, this week was supposed to be the opening of our spring musical. So I am going to go to Topsail High School and turn the lights on the stage for them in honor of our seniors. But they're really engaging and they're taking on, their own learning styles with the projects. We did a elements of theater and design project where they had to recreate a piece of art and, write a reflection on how they changed that piece of art into something that was interesting for them. So it really got them excited. I had one student reach out today. She was so excited. She wants to do another one. She loved it so much. My beginning theater classes were supposed to be working on scenes and duets. So instead we're working on a monologue unit where they can learn how to do an audition and learn how to still, build on those acting skills while, doing it in a non face-to-face traditional way.
Mr. Maxwell, obviously, as a STEM teacher, so much of that is based on what you can actually do in a classroom, working with kits and things to see how parts and pieces move and get the kids involved with that type of stuff. How do you do that when you can't actually physically be in front of them and have those tools and see how those parts move face to face?
It's a really interesting experience for sure. I think the key for me is that I need to jump out of my classroom and really into their homes, and I need to figure out what they have accessible to them. Requiring supplies is not an option right now. People cannot leave their homes. They're afraid to leave their homes. And to use the terminology of the day, what's essential is that you teach them the concepts and the skills. What's not essential are the materials. So we need to look at what they're going to have and design specific projects around what's readily available to them. I mean, most of us are ordering things in. We have cardboard boxes laying around. I mean, honestly, we have a ton of junk laying around the house that you can turn into learning tools if you need to.
What are some of the things that you have been able to do, and what's been the kids' responses to those projects when you've given them to them?
Well, we're knee deep in it at this point. So we started off with easy things, and the time of the year dealt with some people were dyeing eggs. First of all, so we got into the chemistry of dyeing eggs. We got into how to make templates for eggs. We had measuring, drawing. We had recording times of how long it took and the effect. Really common sense observations, recordings, and calculations are working for us. Building things like kites, that sort of thing. Drawing maps based on simple measuring techniques and teaching them, what I would call the tricks of the trade. A lot of people don't have yardsticks at their homes, but what they do have is they have a ruler or something like that they can measure a brick and then have them count the bricks and use those common sense measuring tools, or even body parts. I mean, your foot is a really useful object. So, I had them pace off their land where their homes are, and then convert that into a drawing of their actual properties. And it's a valuable tool, and it connects them directly to, you're taking the concepts and connecting it to their lives that they see. Another thing that I've done with 8th graders here, I'm starting to teach them about circuitry, and had them walk around their homes and find a switch that the controls that can, more than one switch controls that particular light. And then that gets into three-way circuits and all kinds of technological systems that are kind of scary to them right now. But it's part of their lives, So really digging deep into what they have and connecting it to things that they use in their lives every day, and drawing the lines into calculations, the chemistry, the technology, and certainly the math that comes with it.
I really appreciate you all being here today. Thank you so much for all you're doing for our kids during these trying times, and thank you for keeping them engaged in an entertaining way.
It was such a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Really appreciate that you could spend some time with us and help show the county everything that we get to do to help our kids on a daily basis.
You guys stay well and stay safe.
Well, thanks again for having us. It's been really fun talking to you today.
Congratulations to all the teachers that are doing online learning. We rock.